Hello, welcome to my Worlds format tier list. There are some controversial takes to say the least in this video, but hear me out. I think all of them have good reason. If you watch this video and you think, well, this guy's takes suck, he's dumb and stupid, feel free to dislike this video and never watch an AOB video again. Okay, yeah, enjoy the tier list. Okay, so I don't really know how I want to start this, but I think like Gardevoir, I think like I can do like the decks I think are the three best decks right now. I think that's Gardevoir, Grimmsnarl, and Dragapult Dusknoir. I think these are pretty definitively the three best decks in format. It's like not really too much of a conversation. Like this isn't anything controversial. I think yeah, all these decks very good into most of the meta, have a lot of flexibility, a lot of agency. They of course have their not so good matchups, but for the most part they have very good matchup spreads. I like Dragapult Dusknoir more than the other Pult builds because it feels better into the other decks in S tier. So, and then, yes, it might be controversial to not put Dengo in S tier, but like Dengo's got such a big target on its back right now. A lot of these decks are going to fill out the mid to lower tiers are just kind of existing because they farm Dengo. And Dengo is admittedly good into the top tier of decks. It is pretty bad into the lower tier decks. So I'm not sure if I'm being too harsh by like docking Dengo points just because it's bad into jank stuff. But also like its Gardevoir matchup is like they can wait the Drifloon and stuff. Like Poltnor can still win. It's fine into the top three, but not amazing. So I think like Dengo ends up top of A tier. This is not like a slight to Dengo. This deck is very good. I just think it is a tier below, if slightly, the other decks. Don't think we S tier take a loss to Typhlosion. Typhlosion is not real. We'll get there in a minute. And then this is gonna be one of the more controversial takes of the video, I think. But I think Raging Bolt is B. I think it is. It's difficult to take this deck seriously when two of the decks in S tier are unfavorable matchups, and Gardevoir is an extremely unfavorable matchup. Poltnor is slightly unfavored, but like still, I don't think we can take this deck seriously as a true contender if the top tier matchups are not good. So, sure, we have pretty amazing matchups into the lower end of decks, but also don't expect those decks to really convert that well. So even if you get to top tables with Raging Bolts, it's probably not. It's just not going to convert well because it's not good into the top of the meta. I still think it is B tier. It is very consistent. It still can beat decks like Guardy and Poltnor. They just are unfavored. It can still win. It's not like we're just getting completely destroyed, unwinnable. I mean, Guardy feels that way sometimes, but yeah, I think it's like it's consistent enough, one of the most consistent decks in the room. As a fine Grim, very good Dango, extremely favorite Dango if you play the cornerstone. So I think it's still B tier because some of these decks are going to be in D tier. I think are truly terrible decks. So I think Bolt is fine. Where do we want to go next? I think Charizard. I don't know if I want to Charizard next. I'm gonna put Crustle in C. I think it's. Do I want to C or B? Because I guess if we're like saying Raging Bull's not good, sure. We can do Crustle in B. I think it's difficult to take a deck seriously that loses to Gardevoir. But it does have like pretty good matchups against most of these other decks. Your Guardian matchup's terrible. Your Bolt matchup's like not very good, and you lose to some of like the jank things. But yeah, it's feels like a low B deck. It doesn't feel anything super impressive, but it does have its matchups. I'm gonna put both other Polt decks in A tier. I guess you're putting Poltzard down in B, honestly. Honestly, I think Poltzard is B. I don't know. I think it's better than Raging Bull. But Poltzard just has a ton of 50-50s. And it's yeah, it's like just doesn't have very many standout matchups. It like loses to Dragapult Dusknoir, very close into Grim and Guardy. You do kind of dunk on Dengo, you dunk on Crustle, but like other than that, I just can't really think of a reason why you'd play Dragapult Charizard over any of the other Pult builds. Like I don't really see the appeal other than like you get to dunk on Dengo. That's pretty cool. But overall, not very impressed with. I think just Pults are pretty classic mid deck. Ends up in B tier. I'm gonna put Zoroark in A tier. I'm definitely not copying, not trying to like copy Piper's tier list or anything, but I think Zoroark is a very good deck in this current format. You have great time into Gardevoir. You're close into these other decks that are at the top. Like yeah, it's kind of like Poltzart, I guess, where you have a lot of close matches. You actually have like a standout favored matchup into Gardevoir, which I think is really important in this format. So it's like what's holding it back from being higher on the list is like it just has a lot of close matchups, I guess. Like there's not really yeah, it's just not amazing into like Grim, Poltnor, Straight Polt, Stango. But farming Gardevoir is a big appeal to the deck. Okay, I think Typhlosion is. I'm gonna put a D tier. Like I just don't think it. We're not good into the top. Sure, we farm Dango. Sure, we're good into Bolt. I don't care. We are bad into most other things. I don't really know what I want to do with Gardevoir Jellicent, because it is just kind of outclassed by classic Gardevoir, but it is still Gardevoir, and you're the Gardevoir deck that's better than Guardy Mirror. I don't think Guardy Jelly's bad necessarily. This is C tier right? I guess, sure. I mean, it's probably like C or B. C tier just looking a little lonely there, so let's slap it in. In the C tier, we have 6 decks left. All right, the bottom 2s are gonna start to get a bit more crowded. I think Joltik Box. So Joltik Box feels similar to Raging Bolt, where you just kind of lack standout matchups. You're kind of just riding on the fact that you have really like you're just really consistent. You do farm Grimmsnarl, which is pretty good. Like you're all right into Dengo. You're good into these Charizard variants. So I think Joltik Box is also B tier. Your Guard matchup is kind of sus, so your Poltner matchup is kind of sus. Like it's just a very similar deck to Bolt, honestly. I feel like they should go together. Yeah, feels like a B tier deck to me. I think Charizard Pidgeot is okay. So Zard Pidgeot is interesting because like we're solid into Guardy, like not great Grim, not great into these Polt decks. We're very good into Dengo. We're pretty bad into Raging Bolt. It's just honestly it feels like a worse Zoroark to me if we're like I'm gonna play a deck that it's big appeal is to farm Gardevoir. Then I'd rather just play Zoroark, honestly. Zoroark feels more consistent than Zard Pidgeot. So I think the question is whether Charizard Pidgeot is either B or C. I think it is good. Well, I don't know. It like is it better or worse than Crustle? It's probably better. I probably just have Crustle too high. Okay, I think Crustle is being demoted to C tier, and we're putting Charizard in B tier. I can't put them on the same tier. And like Crustle like is just a goofy deck, man. I think Charizard bottom of a B tier deck. Yeah, Crustle's demotion was deserved. Okay, I think we went Ogerpon Box in D tier. I think this deck's pretty bad. I wanted it to be interesting, but like you auto lose to Gardevoir basically. You're not especially good into the Dragapult decks. You can kind of just profit off Cornerstone being kind of dumb right now. But yeah, we're like not particularly good into like all the Bolt decks, and we've like auto lost into Gardevoir, and then like we're not particularly good into Raging Bolts, I wouldn't expect us to be great into Joltik Box. Like, not a match I've played, but yeah, Ogremon Box is just not a good deck. Yeah, one of the one of like the worst semi-relevant decks. I think we put Toadscroll in the same tier, probably the highest one in here. I don't know. I've always been a pretty big Toadscroll hater, even when like Ray was doing so well with it. It just, I don't think we're very good into most of the meta. Like we have, I think we're just kind of banking on being like really consistent and aggressive. We're definitely worse into Dango now that they play Scizor. They can chase the baby Toad without needing a bunch of energies. So our one standout favorite matchup has become a lot worse. And yeah, there's just already a lot of really questionable matchups floating around. So yeah, I think Charizard Dusknoir is just like the worst Charizard deck personally. I've tried this deck some. It just feels quite clunky. Just like any trolley deck, you get the dude and you feel pretty miserable. Yeah, when it gets going, it's really strong. It's just like not that consistent. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of the. I think Charizard Pidgeot's better than Charizard Dusknoir. Charizard Dusknoir's still okay. It wouldn't surprise me if like Charizard Dusknoir like. So I think like these C tier decks, like if one of these gets like top 64, top 32 at Worlds, I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be surprised if one of them makes top 8. Like then these other like B tier and up, if the one surprising to see it like multiple in top 32, maybe one in top 8, then I expect A tier, S tier to be yeah, contending for those top spots. Flareon just feels like a B tier deck, to be honest. I don't know, like this loss to Guardy really puts me off. Like yeah. I guess we have the other like lose to Guardy decks in B tier. Or like fine into Grim. Like fine into Pull. The Pull's not that good though. Now I'm putting Flurry on top of C. We kind of live off like being a Dango bully, and I'm not as high on Dango as other people, so all these Dango bully decks are pretty low. And then lastly, Ho-Oh, I'm gonna put it in bottom tier. I'm not a Ho-Oh fan. This deck's a pile. We lose to Gardevoir. Grim is not that good either. So basically, all these decks start with "Do you be Guardy?" Because in my opinion, Guardy is the best deck. If there was like an S, like if I had to say what the best deck is overall, definitely Gardevoir. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this list. This I think tiers. Okay, yeah, like tiers are ordered correctly. Yeah, I like how this is ordered. I think too. And Flareon's top of C, Crustle bottom of C, maybe Flip Jellicent. Yeah, sure. Ogerpon Box the worst. We'll put Typhlosion the highest out of all of the D2 decks. Okay. Yeah. All right. I feel good about this list. Correct takes only, as always. I guess this is just going on YouTube. Even though I'm recording this live during my stream, so yeah. If you disagree with me, call me an idiot in the comment section and tell me about how stupid I am. And I put your favorite deck in the bottom tier, and I'm a disgrace to the Pokemon community. Please do that. Please dislike the video and unsubscribe, or please don't actually. But